talk about everyone's favourite Green Jedi Master, Kit Fisto. Did you see the way that he didn't die immediately when fighting Palpatine? I mean, he died pretty quickly, but he didn't die immediately like the other two Jedi he was with. So that's good, that's pretty good. Kit Fisto, you did a good job. And that's all I really had to talk about. Yeah. So let's talk about everyone's second favourite Green Jedi Master, Yoda. Roll the titles. Kapow! Hello, just a quick disclaimer as I'm editing the video in my Kermit the Frog onesie. I've noticed that the audio is a little bit bipolar. Sometimes it's fine, but sometimes it's not. I don't know why that is. I've done my best to fix it, so hopefully it doesn't deteriorate from your viewing experience, but if it does, I apologize. But anyway, I'm going to go back to editing now because it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I hope you enjoy. Frank Oz, the voice of Yoda, was recently asked about the possibility of Yoda returning to any future Star Wars movies, and his response was as followed. I feel like I'm a prisoner at war here, and I can only give you my name, rank, and serial number. To be true to the people who asked me, and they are kind of my family, I have to say I've been asked not to talk about it. I love Yoda. I would be happy to talk to you about it at the time they let me. So that's a roundabout way of saying, probably, yeah, he's probably going to be in some future Star Wars movies. Now, a lot of people have taken this to mean that, I don't know where to put my MacBook, okay. Now, a lot of people have taken this to mean that Yoda will be in Star Wars The Last Jedi. So let's talk about that. Could Yoda make an appearance in Star Wars The Last Jedi?
Yes.
I mean, I was building up to that, but thanks for getting straight to the point.
Now could I return in The Last Jedi?
Probably not, because you died both physically and metaphorically. So, you're pretty dead. Of all the Star Wars characters that have ever been, you are probably the most dead.
But I must, for I am The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi isn't singular, it's plural.
Then I have even more of a chance.
So yeah, Yoda could make an appearance in Star Wars The Last Jedi. Obviously, Yoda's dead, but he does have the ability to come back as a shiny Force ghost. What I want to talk about, though, is why. Why would Yoda come back in Star Wars The Last Jedi? What would his purpose be? If Yoda were to make a return, it would most likely be to talk to Luke, because Luke was seen interacting with Force ghosts many times throughout the original trilogy. Now usually, Luke's Force ghost of choice was Obi-Wan Kenobi, but Alec Guinness is dead, and the last time Luke talked to Obi-Wan, he told him they'd made out with his sister, so he probably wants to talk to someone else this time around. Now we could see a CGI Alec Guinness. A lot of people loved the CGI Tarkin and CGI Leia in Rogue One, but, you know, costly and time-consuming CGI, puppet. Speaks for itself, really. Of course, another Force ghost that Luke is likely to talk to is his father.
Yes.
However,
No.
Sebastian Shaw, who played Anakin, much like Alec Guinness, is dead.
But what about...
No, we don't talk about that.
Oh.
So, Force Ghost Anakin kind of opens up a can of worms. Because originally, Sebastian Shaw played Anakin at the end of Return of the Jedi, but because of all the re-releases that the original trilogy have gone through, now it's Hayden Christensen that appears at the end of Return of the Jedi. I think it's supposed to be symbolic or something, because technically that was the last time he was Anakin Skywalker, even though he was clearly Anakin Skywalker before he died. Regardless, I think it's unlikely that we'll see Hayden Christensen return to the Star Wars franchise. Now, I'll admit that people give Hayden Christensen too much of a hard time, at least that's my opinion. It wasn't his fault. Clearly he was receiving some not so good direction on those movies. Despite this though, He seems to have become the embodiment of everything that was wrong with the prequel trilogy, and seeing as how the sequel trilogy is trying to avoid too many ties with the prequels, I think it's unlikely that he's going to make a return. Because of all of that, from a practical, behind-the-scenes point of view, if we need a Force ghost in Star Wars The Last Jedi, Yoda is the best candidate. But why would we need a Force ghost at all? Whether it's Obi-Wan Kenobi in the original trilogy or Qui-Gon Jinn in Star Wars The Clone Wars, Force ghosts are usually there to tell our characters important information. But what information could Luke possibly need from Force Ghost Yoda? What could it be? What could it be? I mean, we don't really know anything about Luke, other than the fact that he's looking for the first Jedi temple. He's looking for the first Jedi temple. He's looking for the first Jedi. Boom! Nailed it. Now, I'm not saying that Yoda will definitely be in Star Wars The Last Jedi, but I do think there's a good case for it. We have seen Luke converse with Force Ghosts before when he needs certain information, and it's very clear that he is looking for the first Jedi Temple in The Force Awakens. And out of all the Force Ghosts, not only is Yoda the most convenient to bring back, but also it would make sense from a storytelling point of view, because with his 900 years of wisdom, he probably knows the most about the first Jedi Temple. He's probably been there. In fact, even if Yoda doesn't appear as a Force Ghost, he could appear in some sort of flashback in relation to the first Jedi Temple. Either way, I think Yoda's involvement with The Last Jedi will have something to do with the first Jedi Temple. Alternatively, if he's not in The Last Jedi, we will almost definitely be getting some sort of anthology movie featuring him. The thing is, we are getting Star Wars movies every single year for the foreseeable future, and Yoda is one of the oldest characters in the Star Wars mythos. With 900 years to play with, I think it's fair to say that we will probably get a few movies featuring Yoda, perhaps an entire trilogy featuring Yoda. Now, the reason I use the word feature as opposed to about is because I don't want an entire trilogy about Yoda. I want to retain some of his mystery because I think that's part of the reason why he's such a fun character. Something I have said on another YouTube channel is that I think it would be good to have a movie set centuries before the events of the Phantom Menace, in which we get to see a younger Yoda, still a wise Yoda, but not as wise, maybe a little bit more reckless, and he is interacting with a whole new group of Jedi, a group of Jedi that we have not seen before. And I think that would be a lot of fun. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. So in summary, I think there's a very good chance that Yoda will be making an appearance in the sequel trilogy as a Force Ghost, and if not, I think he will almost definitely be featured to some extent in one of the anthology movies that Disney will be making.
What about me?
Vader, we will be seeing plenty more of you.
Really?
Yep, right here on GEEKDAY Weekdays.
That's not what I had in mind.
Also, I haven't heard any plans about a Kit Fisto movie yet, so get on it, Disney.